Hello and good morning. Let's talk about what's going on for today. Today you got to factor these, so let's take a look here. This one right here, the leadoff man is a negative, so you got to factor out not only a negative but a 4 as well. And put a squiggly up here because your signs are going to change. Alright, so this is going to be x squared. It's a negative, but it changes to a positive. This one's going to change to a negative 2x because 4 times 2. A negative times a negative is a positive. This is going to be changing to a negative 8. Negative times a negative is a positive. And then this right here, a negative and a negative is going to give you a plus and a minus, which means you have to subtract to get the middle term. So let's talk about that. I guess it's going to be 2 and 4. Since this is a negative, you want it with the bigger number. If it was a positive, then I'd put the positive there. And that should work. There's your answer. All right, let's take a look at the next one. The next one you have to factor out a 9. They all have a 9, so take a 9 out. Okay, a negative and a positive is going to be 2 negatives, which means you're going to be adding. There's a negative 1, there's a negative 1. When you add that, you get a negative 2. But that 9, don't forget it, it's part of your answer. Let's talk about the degrees. Degrees, you got to add your exponents. So here, the degree is going to be 9. Let's take a look at the next one. The next one is 10, but it's really understood to be 10x to the 0 power. So the degree is 0. And the reason why is because anything to the 0 power is 1. Okay? So negative 10 times 1 will still be negative 10. So in your head, you understand that it's x to the 0 power, but you wouldn't write it like that. You would just put negative 10. All right, let's go on. This one right here, you're going to do FOIL. Let me show you a new way to do FOIL. Draw this square, just like that, like a window, and then put the 3x here, and then put the plus 4 there. Put the 2x here, and then put the minus 6 here, and then multiply this and this and that and that. So this times this is going to be 6x squared. This times this is going to be plus 8x. Then take the next one. This times that is a negative 18x. This times this is a negative 24. Now your answer, you're going to add these two up because those are like terms. So it's going to be 6x squared minus 10x minus 24. And that's another way to do FOIL. All right, you will have a test, and it should be online as of today. You have till Sunday. Don't put it off till Sunday and then send me an email on Monday that you didn't have time because something came up. Okay, if you miss it, then you're going to have to wait. And you certainly don't want to be a senior and be waiting for that. All right, let's talk about geometry. All right, here we go. Let's take a look here. This is called mental math. Okay, let me get situated. There it is. All right, let's get this out of the way. Okay, now we're ready. Let's talk about mental math here. So what we have is we're multiplying when they're right next to each other. A negative times a negative. 2 negatives is a positive. 1 negative is a negative. Here you have the same sign, so you're going to be adding these. This changes to a plus, so that's going to end up with a positive 1. Here you're dividing, you have 1 negative, so it's going to be a negative 2, and that's how you do that. Copy this one down on a new sheet of paper and pay attention. And actually, let me give you number 7 on this worksheet today. So let's skip to this one right here. So put number 7 and then put point A and then put point B. And it says from B to A, the ratio is 1 to 4. So this is a little different because we're going from B to A. So let's take a look at it. All right, put a star by this one. It's a little different than yesterday. So let's graph it. Let's start with that. So negative 3, and then down. Put point A, and then put the coordinates here because we're going to need that. And then point B is over 2 up 0. Okay? And again, write the coordinates. Now, let's draw a right triangle. Okay? Now, let's see what we're going to do here. There's my right triangle. Okay, but now look, we're going from B to A, so put a star by that. So start at B, you're going to go down, and since you're going down, that's going to be a negative. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a little different because you're going from this point, and then you're going this way, and that's a negative because you're going left. It looks like a negative 5. Okay? So we have the change in X and the change in Y, but we're starting from point B and we're going towards A. So it's a little different than what we did yesterday. All right? Yesterday we were starting from point A and we'd go this way. But now we're going down, which is a negative, and this way, which is a negative. All right. So if you accept that, let's add the ratio and get 5. So we're going to divide this into 5 parts. Okay? You're still going to use 1. The first one, 1 over 5, 1 over 5 twice. And this one is times your X change, which is negative 5. And then you're going to use this point B, so put plus 2. And then this one you're going to use your Y change, which is negative 4. And then you're going to use point B, Y, so add 0. And this should work. So this cancels. That gives you a negative 1 plus 2, which gives you a positive 1. So one answer is over 1, okay, or part of it. And then this becomes a negative, put a 1 under here, this becomes a negative 4 over 5 plus 0, which is going to be a negative 4 over 5. Let's check this out. So you're going to go over 1, and then you're going to go down 0.8. Which is what this is. You see, 4 divided by 5 is 0.8. So you're going to go down, not 1, but almost 1. So it's going to be about right here. My graph is not quite perfect. It's almost perfect, but not quite. And there it is. And that's how you do that. So on your worksheet today, if you're starting from point B, and you're going to A and you go down, then you got to put a negative. If you go left, you got to put a negative. So be careful with that. All right, today you're going to finish up this worksheet. If you get stuck, ask, and we'll work it together. Have a good morning.